this little clip from Joe Biden came out last week after weeks of bombing Houthi rebels inside of Yemen, who, mind you, there's been a 10-year war between Houthi rebels and the Yemeni government. Yemeni government supported by Saudi Arabia, also supported by a lot of U.S. weaponry for decades now, led to mass starvation, also about 330,000 killed in that war, a legitimate war, unlike what is happening in Gaza, which is very much a one-sided assault. But I was like, let me do some research on the Houthis. So we'll get into who they are and what the hell. But the question I think we all have is what's going on? Why are we bombing them? And is this going to help anything? In fact, I'm a little bit scared that it's going to hurt anything. Well, don't worry, because our president, Joe Biden, was very confident in speaking to reporters about the strategy behind bombing Yemen. Take a listen.
Are the airstrikes in Yemen working?
Well, when you say working, are they stopping the Houthis? No. Are they going to continue? Yes.
Are they stopping the Houthis? No. Are they going to continue? Yes. And in a nutshell, American foreign policy, specifically in the Middle East. A little bit of background. How have we been launching these attacks? It's with the support of the UK and like Holland, I believe. Since Jan 11th, we've launched multiple rounds of smaller scale attacks against the, quote, imminent threat from Houthi anti-ship missile sites that we're preparing to fire against international shipping over the past week, according to the Pentagon. But those strikes have failed to deter militants from continuing to attack commercial vessels transiting the Red Sea of the Gulf and the Gulf of Aden. Now, no one's been killed in Houthi attacks on these cargo ships, right? This is commerce. This is money. This is, we got to get all of our goods and services and our shake weights on time, Houthis have attacked at least 33 commercial vessels using a range of weapons, cruise, ballistic missiles, drones, rockets. The threat to shipping in one of the most vital trade arteries has significantly impacted the global economy, leading to more than 14 shipping companies to halt their Red Sea operations. This is from an anonymous American general, who said, "Our aim remains to de-escalate tensions and restore stability in the Red Sea." Tight. How are you going to do that? Are you going to address why the Houthis are doing this? Or you're going to ask? Because it's about Palestine. Is that on your mind at all? Are you going to call for a ceasefire? No. We will not hesitate to defend lives and free flow of commerce in one of the world's most critical waterways. Yes, again, if I haven't used this analogy on this show, this is the when a rock goes through a Louis Vuitton window during a massive Black Lives Matter march, you will see more police presence than ever before. Never mind what the protest is about, but if private property is threatened, that is when the military gets involved and when forces actually get involved. There's a former Middle East peace negotiator who said this to Politico, basically said, the longer all this goes on, and in effect these attacks on the Houthis, the higher the chance of the Houthis killing Americans on a commercial ship or Iran-backed proxies killing American forces in Iraq and Syria. At that point, Miller argued, the U.S. will have, quote, no choice but to strike Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Tehran's assets in the Gulf, or targets inside Iran proper. In other words, we're playing with fire here. Now, I did, again, a little bit of background research. There's a really excellent piece by Nicholas Broomfield, who's a researcher, Middle East researcher, and this article from Foreign Policy Research Institute was really helpful in explaining that, the Houthi rebels were kind of there was a truce between them and Saudi Arabia. The areas they controlled were kind of getting out of hand. They weren't happy with the leadership, but then Israel attacked Gaza. Israel has been conducting genocide on the Palestinian people, and Houthis not only organize massive pro-Palestine rallies, but now are doing these actions, which again haven't claimed lives, but are definitely hurting the global economy in defense of Palestinians. And yeah, they've even launched attacks at Israel. They've recruited more Houthi fighters with the promise that they're going to go fight Israelis, or the Israeli army, which is wild, right? So they're having their moment, to be number one, we're the only motherfuckers actually doing something about this. And number two, we're using this to kind of like, tighten our like political stance and our popularity here among the Yemeni people who are incredibly pro-Palestine. So there's that. And if all of this sounds head spinning and difficult, leave it to Miriam Francois, I'm sorry, the S is silent. I do not speak French, but Miriam Francois, who I believe is a reporter for Al Jazeera English, was on Sky News. And oh my God, listen to the way this woman breaks down how we should end this scuffle with the Houthis, how we can have commerce free flowing and all hunky dory, and also just completely own this interviewer. Take a look.
Sorry, so just let me get this straight, Yalda. So we are bombing one of the poorest countries in the world that has been under a humanitarian blockade. There has been famine. These people have been decimated, and we are bombing them because a couple of guys in dinghies in support for the Palestinians who are having a genocide committed against them. They're objecting to that, and we're bombing them. Come on now. I mean, this is just an insane world for us to even think. I'm so sorry your Amazon packages are delayed. I really am. Like, I wish mine came on time. But, genocide, guys, genocide. There are 2 mothers a day dying in Gaza right now. It's 109 days into a conflict in which a humanitarian crisis has been declared to the world day day out.
By the way, Dr. Francois, there are many who are Yemen watchers who monitor and follow the Houthis who say this is doing wonders for their branding, actually, that it isn't just the Palestinian cause that they're focused on.
So call a ceasefire now and end the positive branding. If you want to stop the Houthis doing what they're doing, then call a ceasefire right now. Do you genuinely believe that
the Houthis would stop doing what they're doing?
They have literally said that that's why they're doing what they're doing. They have not previously blocked those routes for any other reason except this one.
Exactly. So I just love that. Oh yeah, you want to end the positive branding? Ceasefire now. Just do a ceasefire and it'll stop. And the Houthis actually are fairly strategic about who they strike, which ships they strike, how close to get to those ships, right? A lot of this isn't the attack, like a missile doesn't land on the cargo ship, but around the cargo ship. They're basically scaring them, right? But no, let's keep bombing. Is it having an effect, Mr. President, sir? No. Cool. This is, every world war, every war truly has we've bumbled into it. Maybe not Iraq and Afghanistan felt a little bit more planned, if I'm going to be honest, but a lot of other wars have been like, we just sort of stumble into it, especially when it comes to the Middle East. That's what I'm bitching about. Why are we attacking Houthis? Why are we making this situation even more volatile? Why are we only sticking up for commerce and for, yes, Amazon packages and not people's lives? What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.